Hi, welcome to Conferencing with Letso. So, about a week ago, I posted a notice on my Facebook page that I would be attending the Property Buyers Show. And so, it took place at the Sandton Convention Center from the 12th to the 14th of October. And it was aimed at two types of individuals. It was aimed at first-time property buyers and property investors. So, with regards to the property buyers, it gave them the opportunity to meet up with estate agents, the opportunity to see which developments are coming up and which ones are on offer for purchases, because the great part about buying a property straight from the developer off plan is that you skip transfer duty costs, so you don't have to pay those. And also it gave them the opportunity to meet banks and to see their credit ratings, and also to determine the amount of money that they qualify for mortgage bond. So that was the great part about it. So for property investors, it gave them the opportunity to take advantage of high yielding investment opportunities. It allowed them to compare multiple developments and make the first pick. And thirdly, it allowed them to meet up with estate agents, developers, conveyancers, town planners, and financial institutions to help them with their projects all under one roof. So I'm going to get straight into reviewing this event, and I'm going to review it based on the following subtopics: the ease of registration and the fee, the venue, the food, the speaker relevance, the age representation, the racial representation, time allocated for discussions, as well as sociability. So with regards to the ease of registration and the fee, a friend of mine told me about this event, so I just went online, read up about it, and decided that it's an event that I'd like to attend. And so it was 80 Rand to get in. However, you could have secured free tickets before the 12th of October for the event, and I did include a link of the free tickets on my Facebook page as well. So you just had to get there at the event and then produce proof of RSVPing, and then you got in, and then you got a goodie bag with notebooks and pens so that you could just jot down everything that happened at the event. So I like that about it. And with regards to the food area was right at the back of the event, so it wasn't really in the hustle and bustle of the networking. So that's what I liked about it, because you kind of ate in privacy. You just ate comfortably without anyone kind of interrupting your meal. So I liked that about it. But the meal wasn't actually a part of the fee, so it had to be out of pocket. And the venue was at the Sandton Convention Center. I liked the venue. It wasn't too big, it wasn't too small. It was just enough space for facilitating of networking, and there was enough space for the stalls. There was enough space for the theater where the presentations were taking place. So I liked it. However, parking wasn't a part of the fee. So you had to park at the Sandton Convention Center or at the Nelson Mandela parking. So with regards to speaker relevance, I really like the fact that they got speakers from diverse areas of property. So you had your attorneys, you had your town planners, you had people from the president of the South African Institute of Black Property Practitioners was there. The head of affordable housing from Nedbank, provincial home loans acquisitions manager was there. The co-founder of the SA Property Investor Network was also there. So I like that you could receive advice from different aspects, from tax matters, from eviction matters, from finance matters, from estates of deceased estates, all linked to property. So there was an opportunity to have those conversations with the speakers, and I like that about it. So they were all very, very relevant to the topic at hand. And then with regards to the age representation, this event, there were people from the ages of about 20 something, mid-20s, all the way until the 60s. So I like that the age was very representative of ages, of all ages, from 20s up until the 60s. And then with regards to gender representation, with the speakers, it was predominantly male speakers. However, with the audience, it was 50-50. There was just as much males as there were females, and I like that about it, because it just meant that, for me at least, it meant that women are getting into this industry, and that the industry is opening up as well and embracing women. So I liked that, because there were quite a lot of women at the event. And then with regards to race representation, the speakers were predominantly white, and the attendees were predominantly of color. So even that said to me that the industry is opening up and allowing people of color, and it just felt like an exchange of knowledge as well. So I liked it, and it was really nice to see. And then with regards to the time allocated for discussions, there really wasn't enough time allocated for discussions during the theater presentations where you had the speakers come and present, right? What happened is, I believe that there was 30 minutes allocated for the speakers to present and about 15 minutes for the Q&A. But the 15 minutes wasn't even enough for the Q&A. So a lot of times the speakers would just tell the audience that if you need something, or if you need to talk about something, you have further questions, you could just approach them at the back or at their stands and have the conversations. But now that kind of put the rest of us in a bit of a tough situation, because some of the questions that you could have learned from, or you could have taken from, it just didn't happen. So that was that with regards to the time allocated. It wasn't enough, and it could have been handled a bit better. And then with regards to sociability, geez, this event was quite sociable. The speakers were sociable, especially because they had stands at the event. Most of them had stands at the event. So if you didn't catch them at the presentations, you could catch them at their stands. And they were very open to telling you how the industry works and where to look out for in terms of hotspots within Joburg area. And so I liked that. That was awesome. They were social. The audience was social, the speakers were social, the stands were social, the networking it just flowed. So I like that about it. And so if I had to review this whole event, I'd review it as follows. Based on the registration, the ease of registration and the fees, I'd give that a 5 out of 5. The food I'd give it a 3 out of 5. And the venue, the Sandton Convention Center, I'd give it a 5 out of 5. It was adequate venue. The speakers and the relevance of the information that they did impart, the oratory skills were great. They made us understand exactly what they were talking about. They took it to layman terms. If somebody couldn't understand, they brought it down, and I liked that. So I'd give the speakers a 5 out of 5. And then the age representation, I also give it a 5 out of 5 because it covered from 20s up until 60s. I liked that. In terms of race, I'd give it a 4 out of 5 in terms of race. And then in terms of the time allocated for discussions, I'd give it a 3 out of 5 because, like I mentioned earlier, there wasn't enough time. And then in terms of sociability, I'd give sociability a solid 5 out of 5. So I liked it. So who would I recommend this event to? I would recommend it to first-time property buyers as well as property investors. And what did I take from it? Well, the first thing I took from it was, because I'm from a property background, a legal property background, I learned the dynamics behind what estate agents do and go through before clients even get to me. I learned what investors do and what it takes for them to invest in certain developments before I even do the township establishment, before it even gets to me for consolidation or township establishment proclamations and the likes. So those are some of the things that I took from it and I learned from it. And also I learned that certain opportunities do really come from not so great circumstances. And these were the 4Ds that I learned as well, that certain transactions come from divorces, they come from distress, they come from desperation, and some of them come from deaths. So these are some of the things that I learned as well. And finally, I learned that what you see is not always what you get, and that certain dilapidated buildings really just require just a small amount of money for them to get renovated and turn them into gold. So these are some of the things that I took from the event, and I would recommend it next year. It's an annual event, so next year, 2019, it's happening again. I would definitely recommend it again. Thank you so much for watching this video today. I have included links below to the event where you can read up more about the event, the sponsors, as well as the speakers. I've also included a link below to my Facebook page where I include all the upcoming events and also notify you on upcoming reviews. Do follow me on YouTube, right here on this YouTube channel. Subscribe and follow and like on Facebook. Thank you so much. Bye.